Hello, potassium people. Welcome back to another Banana Bites. We're meeting this banana and asking Valve to please add the strange second banana to Team Fortress 2. Now, today, before I go ahead and eat this scrumptious, delicious potassium berry, I want to talk a little bit about the phrase. The phrase you probably heard of quite a bit from Batman, alright? You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, or however that goes, right? But basically, the premise is you do something good, you die, it's game over, but at least you're known as a nice guy. Whereas if you live long enough, eventually something corrupts you and you become evil. And while that is true to an extent, depending on what you're doing and who you are, I think the idea of memory, the idea of negativity bias, and of various different small little things lead into this phrase being more true than I initially thought. Because there are situations in life where it would be important, or it should be important, to speak up, to commit some sort of action, and to act. You often see in media, like movies or whatever, there's like some bullies beating up some kid, whatever, and there's always a lot of bystanders. Admittedly, while it's a bit dramatized, there are situations like that in real life where just speaking up or trying to better understand the situation could make you seem like a hero. But in these situations, a lot of people will just not do anything. And I can't necessarily blame them, because acting without knowing what's going on can also make you seem like the villain. But not doing anything at all kind of turns them into villains anyways. It makes them somewhat evil. There was this whole case way back when, I don't remember exactly, but some lady was basically killed near an apartment complex, and a bunch of people saw it, and nobody called the police because everybody thought someone else would call the police. Crazy stuff, right? So, in the minds of a lot of people, all those people that saw the event and didn't call the police, didn't do anything about it, are villains. And they live on the memory of people as villains. Nameless, maybe, but evil nonetheless for inaction. And maybe that's what it means to be a hero, to take action. Maybe putting yourself out there and being willing to die for a good cause makes you a hero. But that's getting into semantics, and admittedly, there's a lot of different ways to look at it, because there are situations where acting makes you more like a white knight that doesn't actually help and is just annoying than it does an actual help to a situation. But I do know this. Negativity bias, if I can talk correctly, is a real thing. And it's where the negative experiences seem to dwell on the mind of a person more than the positive ones. What I think is funny is that in life you pass by a lot of people. There's a lot of bystanders, whatever. But you can make an impact on someone in a small way. Giving someone a compliment, maybe just giving someone a smile, maybe being kind enough to pay for the groceries of someone in behind you, or even in front of you if you reach out, whatever. Small little things that can make you seem like a hero. And what's interesting about that is you, the person, basically die after that point. Like, you still exist in memory, which a lot of heroes do. A lot of heroes are remembered solely by memory or by fables. But the whole person, who you are, or who anyone is, basically dies after some point in the mind. Well, in reality, because the person that you helped doesn't really interact with you more after that most of the time. And so they have a good memory of you, but you could go out and get run over by a car and they would have no idea. And that also means that a lot of negative things that you could do in front of them, there's a good chance they'll never see it. But if they got to know you well, if they got to see everything you are, all of your nice things, niceties, but also all of your flaws, it could turn you into a villain in their mind just over time. You have a bad day, so you yell at someone. You get furious in traffic, maybe. And while it's not really fair to judge people on bad days, or when times are tough, or when they say things and they don't mean it, or even if they try to be good, but they jump the gun a little bit, that negativity bias stays. And so the villain lives, in a way, in the true self, but only by the perception that others have. Without understanding the full context, but seeing the full person and their actions. And even the small things. But, again, it's different for everybody. And admittedly, to get into it deeper, we'd have to define what a hero is and what a villain is. Because while people have a lot of different perceptions, there's a lot of commonly agreed upon things. And yet, I don't wish to bore you, and so instead, I shall eat my banana. And quite possibly, after all of these talks, all of these ideas, I'll be a villain in many people's minds. But that's alright, because for the few who chance upon me eating this banana in the hopes of something being good, something strange being added to a silly little game, maybe I'll be a hero for someone. But it's okay if I'm not, because I tried. And that to me matters. Because if I can die a hero in my mind, if I can push away the things that make me bad or terrible, and just let this moment be, finds me, well, maybe that's better. But again, getting a little too far into it, just mentally. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat the banana now. Okay, potassium people, that's it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye bye.